how to answer this question, but I think the way he talks, he think he's Superman, right? And he is very disrespect, not just with me, with everybody. Extended, right? We never talk directly. The times he wants to talk with me is always somebody in the middle. But at the time we talk directly in person, everything goes smooth.
Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez met with Turki Alalshikh in Saudi Arabia today. But before the meeting, they had a heated argument. Canelo started it by accusing Crawford of talking badly about him in recent interviews, saying, "You're crazy. What are you saying in your interviews?" Their unexpected clash surprised many in the boxing world.
I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out, from Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't just,
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not.
Kovalev was older. He does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power.
Canelo accused Crawford of appearing in interviews where he showed little or no respect for him or his past opponents. Crawford believes that Canelo's opponents in his 62 victories are not on his level when it comes to boxing skills, which angered Canelo, who feels his record is far better than Crawford's. We'll see in the ring, Canelo said. Meanwhile, Crawford didn't say much in response and simply advised Canelo to wait until they faced each other in the ring before talking.
And he's not even in my weight class already. And, it's a lot of things there that doesn't make sense. And plus, at this point in my career, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. And I agree. So,
in an interview with Manuka Kopian, former undisputed welterweight champion and current super welterweight title holder Terence, Crawford discussed his fight against Canelo. He said he doesn't need a knockout to win, just a clear victory. While a KO is possible, he isn't specifically looking for one. Crawford described Canelo as a small big guy who has moved up in weight classes, noting that bigger fighters tend to be slower. Although Canelo has faced larger opponents like Dimitri Bivol, Crawford believes his own speed and size advantage will help him in the fight.
I have a lot of power, but all those guys that you named is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is not there.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo go?
Tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too.
Crawford explained that coming from a lighter division gives him an advantage in speed and precision. He believes that if Canelo gets hit with a clean shot he doesn't see, he can be hurt because he's not a machine. He's human like everyone else. While Crawford isn't ruling out a knockout, he isn't focusing on it. His strategy is to wear Canelo down, which he feels could be more effective for a fighter moving up in weight. "I won't step in thinking I can't hurt him, but I also won't step in planning to knock him out," he said. Crawford stated that he will fight his own fight, and if a knockout happens, he will gladly take it. Although the fight is not official yet, excitement is building for a showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. According to Turki Alalshikh, the fight is expected to take place after the summer, following Canelo's super middleweight unification bout against William Skull on May 3rd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Crawford has expressed confidence in his abilities, claiming he has the tools needed to win the fight.
Terence Crawford, Canelo is the biggest fight in boxing right now today.
Your fight will do bigger numbers than Benavidez, Canelo.
100%. African-American, Mexican, they always made for the biggest fights in history. I can easily go fight Virgil Ortiz or Fundor, whoever, to make a quick buck or a quick little penny, but I'm looking at bigger picture.
Terence Crawford is living his dream and making sure everyone knows it, while training hard, bulking up, and improving his skills. He's also doing interviews ahead of his highly anticipated fight in Las Vegas this September. Opinions on the fight are divided. Some fans and fighters believe weight classes exist for a reason, and that moving up to face a bigger, stronger opponent is a risky move. Others, however, believe in Terence Bud Crawford's elite skills. The undefeated 41-0 boxer is fully focused on this fight, putting everything into his preparation. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez has a different challenge ahead: his May 3rd bout against William Skull in Riyadh. If Canelo wins, he will become the undisputed super middleweight champion for the second time, which is exactly the challenge Crawford is looking for.
Demographic, which boxing is deeply rooted in the African-American culture. So I do think that fight does a little bit more numbers than Benavidez versus Canelo.
This is a legacy fight. This is a generational fight. Will be talked about for years. When I'm gone, they'll talk about, man, you remember Crawford coming up to 168 and fighting Canelo? 2 top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world in their prime, fighting each other.
Just imagine Crawford moving up 2 weight classes to challenge an undisputed champion. And not just any champion, but Canelo Alvarez. If he pulls it off, it would be legendary. Crawford knows the challenge he's facing, but that hasn't shaken his confidence. In a recent episode of Pound for Pound with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo, he backed himself without hesitation. When asked about the tough task ahead, he responded, "I feel like I have the speed over Canelo. I have the reach over him. He might have the size and power, but I have the better boxing skills."
Oh, Alvarez thinks you're not a 54-pounder. In other words, you say, nah, he's too small.
That's his take. There's a reason why Israel was so respectful in the fight. Anytime I let my hands go, he would grab me or move. For the bigger guy, you should have been walking me down. You should have been bullying me. Canelo can say, what do you say?
He just doesn't feel like you're a 54-pounder.
Henry Cejudo jumped in, asking if Crawford planned to make it a cat-and-mouse fight, suggesting he might have to move a lot and fight smart. But Crawford shut that down immediately. He's not running from anything. Then came the comparisons. Cejudo brought up Canelo's history of knocking out opponents like James Kirkland, who lost by 3rd round KO in 2015, Amir Khan, who was stopped in the 6th round in 2016, and Sergey Kovalev, who was the WBO light heavyweight champion when Canelo knocked him out in the 11th round. But that's where Crawford drew the line. With a chuckle, he shot back, "Don't disrespect me."
That your real weight class. And
my real weight class is 168.
It's not Canelo trolling.
I just want to know if I'm too small for 168. A lot of people my whole life been doubting me, but I know I'm smaller than Canelo. I know I'm smaller than these guys.
Yeah, but Canelo's pretty short too. Canelo's your height.
We're the same height. We're the same height.
Exactly, for a 68-pounder. But he is a freaking boulder. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a thick.
Simply put, Bud Crawford wasn't impressed. He pointed out that Kovalev was older and then made a bold statement. "Don't get me wrong, Canelo has a lot of power, but all those guys you named are not as skillful as me. I'm sorry, no disrespect to them, but the skill level is night and day," the 37-year-old explained. A strong statement, no doubt. So how does Crawford see a fight with Canelo playing out? A tough battle. Crawford admitted he respects Canelo as a great fighter, but he has even more belief in his own skills. "The fact that people doubt me just fuels me even more," he said. Watching Canelo, he's confident he can beat him. As for the size difference, the southpaw from Omaha isn't worried. "I've been fighting bigger opponents my whole life, and I always come out on top," he said. In the end, Crawford knows it'll be a tough fight. You're going to get hit. It's a fight. But he's going to get hit too. It'll be good.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
Crawford versus Canelo is shaping up to be one of the most exciting matchups in boxing. With both fighters confident in their abilities, fans can expect a high-stakes battle when they finally step into the ring. Will Crawford's speed and skills be enough to overcome Canelo's power and experience? Only time will tell. Make sure to subscribe for more updates, analysis, and exclusive boxing content.